everyone, it's Renee here today, and I just felt a little bit like making some journaling cards today, and I thought you'd like to join me while I do it. These are pages from the Leaves collection, set 1, and I'm just going to fold this in half. Don't need those yet, And I'll do this one as well. Now this is the one that's got the orientation of the writing going across the page this way in the background. So I'm folding it in half this way, so front and back will have the writing the same orientation. I'm just going to glue these together. It's cold here again today, so I'm wearing my giant fluffy jumper. All the trees outside seem very confused. Half of them are getting their blossoms, even though we're still in winter. And we're still getting frost, so I don't know how that works. Let's grab another piece, or I'll just glue it to the paper. I just printed these pages on regular copy paper, so the sturdiness will come from how many layers I'm putting on it. Right, and I'm going to fold this. I'm eyeballing where the end of the ink is, and I'm kind of matching it on each side. I'm just going to do that for ease of making the cards all the same size. Same with this one. Oops, that one didn't feel like I glued it properly. Oh well, we'll see what happens when it feels dry. Alright, so I'm just going to pop those aside for a second, and while that's happening I'm going to pick a colour that I want. I think I'll do some blue. I'm just going to make a mark with a pen. I don't want to hide all of the pattern, so about a centimetre in to there. So I need to cut. I'll trim the white piece off first so I can make it straight. And this jumper is hard to craft in because the sleeves are so poofy. Every time the cats cuddle me in this jumper, they do that kneading thing that cats like to do. They like the feel of the jumper. Alright, I'm going to use this same piece. I think I'll do a green one on the green one, and then I'll do a beige one on the other ones as well, just so we can see the difference in the colour and how it affects the finished card. I love when paper does that tiny little curly thing. Alright, so that's what I'll need. Those pages, by the way, were from the File Keeping Collection Set 2, the lined pages, in case you're looking for those. Oh, that was the worst cut ever. Okay, that'll do for now. Let's feel these. They're a little bit dry, but they're Still a little bit damp, but we'll press on anyway, and hopefully my blade, I might just get a fresh blade to minimise the chance of tearing. So I'm going to trim the white down the edge here. And off the base here. Making sure there's still a little white here, so I'm just going to do it a little bit more on the edge. Like this. All good. And just going to trim that fold to make this 2 separate pieces. Well, I'm going to attempt to make it 2 separate pieces. Oh my word, going to need to trim that again. Dear me. Alright, much better. And do the same with this one. Alright, it's good. So, let's get one of these now and figure out how big it needs to be. So, if I cut it at this line here, that should work for all of them. Okay, and put those aside because I might use them again in a minute. And let's start with this one. I want to throw a little ink around the edge of all these, so I'll do that real quick and then I'll be right back. Alright. Alright, I have those all inked now, so I'm going to pop them on the cards that I want them on with a glue stick. So we'll start by putting this blue one on this blue one. Centrally as I can. And press. And we'll put a brown, light brown one on this blue one. There. And green one. Oops. There. And last one, the other brown. Okay. So there we have those now. So next step, I'm going to get these pages where it's sort of like a build your own plant pages. I'll cut probably 5 or 6 out for each card, but I'll do that off camera because fussy cutting's boring, and I'll be right back. I've got a few of those cut out, but I just wanted to show you one little trick. When I'm cutting these out by hand, I find the easiest way is to cut the stem on both sides first, like this, up to the flower, up to the leaf, and then cut round the leaf. You can do it the other way, like one side of the stem around the leaf and then down the other side. But I just find this just a touch easier because you don't have to battle this little flimsy bit. Anyway, just thought I'd let you know how I do that. Okay, so next, let's start with the green. Now I want to put a few of these leaves sort of overhanging onto the writing space. So I'll just pop that one like this. And then grab this one. And glue. I'm just popping his little stem over the top of the other one so it just kind of looks like it carries on from there. And maybe one more little one there. Like that. And then a couple from the top as well in the other opposite corner, just to balance. Oops, knocked all my leaves off with my big fluffy sleeves. That one will do. Did it again. Oops, leaves away. Alright, I might need to rescue those off the floor in a second. Alright, so that'll do on that one. I'm just going to put it on fast forward and you can watch me put the leaves on the other ones quicker. Alright, so that's the leaf part done on the cards. I think before I move on, I'm going to take these over to my sewing machine and just sew around the edge of each of them for a little more interest. So you don't have to do this step, but I like the look, so I'm going to do it, and I'll be back in a sec. Alright, so they've all had their sewing done. I did notice while I was doing the green ones in particular that some of the edges were a little uneven, but I think it doesn't stand out too badly, so I might just ignore it. I think it was only because I was trying to follow a straight line with the sewing that I even noticed it at all. And trimming all the threads off. Threads. Okay, so let's take a look. So that's that way up, that's this way up, that is this way up, and this way up. So that I did zigzag on the green ones, and I did straight on the blue, and that's how it's looking on the back of those. So I'm liking that, but we're not done yet. Let's do a little more embellishing. So actually I have these little where are they? Where have I put them? Here. I have these little tag things that came in. This was I think the Bits and Pieces Flowers kit. I can't remember, but I'll pop all the links in the description box for all these bits I'm using. And these might be just super cute to just hang, maybe, from a corner. Let's see what a little one looks like. Trim, trim. Oh, little one. I like the little ones. Let's do the little ones. Alright, so I'll do these two because I've got some blue on them. They'll match our blues. And let's see. Well, this one here is mostly green, so pinch that one for green. And this one with the purple flower, I'm sure it'll be fine. Like that. Okay, now I don't want them to be blank on the back, so let's use the leftover lined paper that we put aside and glue them onto that and then cut them out again so we can have not a white back. I suppose I could just ink them, but this could be like a little secret message spot. So I'll put that on there. I'll do this blue one as well. And that one on there. Okay, so that one was this one. That one was this one. And blue for you. There. Oops. And green for you. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm getting to the point now where the blue jumper is a little too... The fluffy jumper is a little too warm. So I might pause a second and take it off. I'll be right back. I'm back. So I was thinking that these probably need a little ink. But I was thinking I'd attach them, I don't know. I was thinking about punching a hole through the whole thing and tying it on. Maybe we'll try a few different ways because we've got so many tags. We can experiment. Alright. So let's do this one. Kind of want it to be about there-ish. I'm going to get my small hole punch and let's go through everything because that's where I want it to be. Little bit of brown string. Through the tag, through the embellishment, missing one of the loops of the string, come back, through the loop. Could have used a more generous piece of string. But you get the gist. Alright, so on this one, let's think. I wonder if a paperclip could, if I put it, if I put it on a paperclip and slide it on so it could come off, it'll dangle down like that far. And that's not what I want. But what if we make it a hidden paperclip? We could do that, I think. Let's see, do we have enough of this? Did I have another? Is there enough if I fold that in half? Yes, there is. Okay, so I'm going to fold this in half to make it a bit thicker. And glue it to itself real quick. And trim off this excess over the side here. And all the white bits. Like that. Okay, so I'm going to put the long part of the paperclip over this piece of paper. Like that. Just thinking. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. And then I am going to glue it with the art glitter glue to the back of this tag. Put it on the tag. Okay. I'm going to be generous with the glue. I want it to make sure it sticks. Making sure the top lines up with the top of the tag. And press really hard. Little tissue to wipe some of this excess glue away before it tears all my paper. Let's trim. Don't know if these scissors are going to cut it. They don't like slightly soggy paper. Cut. And cut. Just give that a little quick re-inking. Like that. Okay, and then on this one, is that up the right way? Yes it is. We'll slide the little paper clip on there, like that. Alright, so I like that. Actually I like that quite a bit. Okay, but let's keep experimenting. Let's not stop there. Okay, so maybe what else have I got? I'm just going to go brainstorm by looking in my cupboard of bits and pieces, and I'll be back. Alright, I'm back, and I had a couple more ideas. One of them was these little fasteners. I think they're also called brads. They're like the split pin at the back. If I can open the container. Oh, it's so difficult. Which side does it open? How does it open? Aha. Oh, I just didn't untape it properly. There we go. So I'll take one of them. We will do the Same thing I did before with the little hole punch. And then we'll push this through and open it on this side. I'm just gonna, actually this will be better. Push down like that. And I can pop a little label on the back here to hide that. Is that going to be long enough? Only just, I think. Okay. And a little bit of this over this. Like that. Can't really use it very well, but you could still hide a little message under there, I suppose. Or it's just decoration now, isn't it? Alright, and last I have this very thin black ribbon. It's tiny. And scissors that won't cut it. Alright, I want to make a little bow. Now bows never look good when I tie them, so I'm going to get a little needle and thread and sew it. Okay. Now I'm going to pop my needle through the middle, and then I'm going to fold one loop over and push onto the needle. And it's just being stubborn now. One loop, don't stab yourself, down. And then I want the same size loop, ow. We are struggling. Same size loop on the other side if possible. Close enough to it. Looking, really needs to be just a bit small. Sure all of you people out there that make bows with these are screaming at me, "You're doing that wrong, it's terrible, stop." But anyway, I'm sure I'm doing it wrong and it's terrible. I'm just sewing a few times through the middle. Back and forth, just to hold the whole shebang together. I'm not going to cut this off yet. I am, however, going to get, let's try these bad boys, see if they'll trim better and even up my little, no, maybe, it'll do, even up my little tails. Alright, let's find where I've hidden, there it is. So I'm going to pop the little bow. Actually, I want a bit more of this. I won't cut it. I'm just going to sew through the end of this so that it's at the back of my bow. Like this. Make sure that you can't see it poking up, so a couple more stitches to hold it in place. I want it to actually face up. Okay, so like this. And apparently I'm just going to go around itself. Disaster. Fiddly little work. Like, I don't mind doing it, but I feel incompetent when I'm showing it. Right. Once more through that whole thing, I think. And back to the back. Okay, so now what we have is a little bow and then a sort of straight piece coming out the back of the little bow. I'm now going to sew the bow onto the little tag. Let's just come back through it and then back to the back. So it's definitely on. Tie it off. Okay, now going to use this little bit of ribbon. I was thinking about looping it through, but maybe I just sew it on. But if we, dilemma. I think I'll just sew it on. So, going to trim this off here and fold it over the edge here. Put my knot on the inside, tuck it in, and just going to go through a couple of times and back through. And back through. That. Almost want to put a little button or something on it, but I think I'll just leave it like that for now. I can always adjust it later, and I can flick it around and right on the back. Right, let's just tie this off. Trim. Okie dokie. So, I'm just going to go and find a couple of more things that I might want to embellish with, and I'll also ink around the edges while I'm doing that, and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so I found a few bits and pieces, and I think I'd like to put a label on this one, like that. There. And then on this one, maybe a butterfly. I think we'll do that. Like that. And then on this one, let's see if I've got a tiny little flower. Like that, maybe. Let's do it. That. And on the last one, maybe just, well, I've got those stickers, maybe we can find a sticker. I think maybe if we put the flower over here like this, we will live with just the one and be satisfied. Now for the arduous task of trying to peel it off its backing. 3 hours later. Ta-da! And I'm just going to pop that there like that. Maybe it needs a little label or something as well, because it feels a little unbalanced. Let's see what I've got in my odds label box here. One of these purple ones to match the flower. Let's just do it. Oops. Gungy glue. It looks like the glue smeared the ink. Oh well. Alright, so there we have it today. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you feel inspired to go off and make some journaling cards, have a little bit of an experiment about how things can work, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!